All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Living the Dream podcast. Today on the show, we're going through Proverbs 8, verses 7 through 9. Here we go. For my mouth will utter truth. Wickedness is an abomination to my lips. All the words of my mouth are righteous. There is nothing twisted or crooked in them. They are all straight to him who understands, and right to those who find knowledge. And Proverbs 8 is talking about the blessings of wisdom, honestly, as a lot of Proverbs does. So, what's my baseline interpretation of this? Well, the first thing I want to say is that wisdom and truth are pretty much synonymous. Like, wisdom is talking, and wisdom is saying, "For my mouth will utter truth." That's the only thing that's going to come out of my mouth. All the words of my mouth are righteous. There's nothing twisted or crooked in them, and wickedness is an abomination to my lips. You're not going to see anything untrue coming from wisdom's mouth. That's the first thing. The second thing is, it takes something a bit different to understand. So in verse 9, it's like, they are all straight to him who understands. And this is interesting because it's not like they are all straight to everybody. There are some people where it's going to look crooked. Ain't that interesting? So here, wisdom is like, my mouth is going to utter truth. Nothing twisted or crooked are in the words of my mouth because they're all righteous. They are all going to be straight to him who understands, which means if you don't understand, they will look crooked, in my head at least. That's not directly in the text, but it does say they're straight to him who understands and right to those who find knowledge. So if you have not found knowledge, it will look wrong to you. And here's why I'm bringing this up. I will often read Instagram comments when I come across a success video that is talking about success and like a good mindset or a money mindset or something like that in a reel. I'll read the comments, and a lot of people will be claiming that it's false information, right? Some may have good reason, some of them may have bad reason. Regardless, it's hard to trust what anybody says or thinks because nobody sees face to face, right? We all see, nobody sees face to face, right? We all see in the mirror dimly. So, what I'm getting at here is they're all straight to him who understands. And until you fully understand, it's not going to look fully straight to you. And that was just kind of eye opener for me because it just takes something a bit different to understand. And that's something that's a bit different in my head is the difference between heart knowledge and head knowledge. So, on a head level, you can know that perfect love casts out fear. But on a heart level, is there still fear in your heart? Like you don't fully believe in the fact that perfect love casts out fear. And so, when it goes, they are all straight to him who understands. Perfect love casts out fear may look like a really true, straight thing to somebody who fully understands the power of God in their life. But to somebody who doesn't, they may think God is a liar. They may think that it's not for them, you know? They may have all these false beliefs just because they don't see clearly, they don't understand, they have not found knowledge yet. And so part of that in my head is experiential. Like that's the only way I can think of it. Of like you got the head knowledge of like, yeah, perfect love casts out fear. I'm the salt of the earth, light of the world. I'm a royal priesthood, all that good stuff, right? But do you know it in your heart? No, because you haven't experienced those things in your life. And so as we experience those things in our life, I think we more get it on a heart level of like we've experienced God in our life, so we start to trust him more and love him more. But it's interesting because uh I remember Jesus talking, maybe it was doubting Thomas. He's like, you have seen and you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet still believe. And that's the power of faith. Like when we get our faith to a level where we have not seen God in our life and we still choose to believe in his word, like that's when the blessings just overflow in your life. And so the entrepreneurial application of this is do you resonate with what you're doing? And let me tell you how I got there. So there are people here who say, all right, in the verse it goes, there are people who see these and understand. And there are people who see my words and they don't understand. And so in my head, there's two types of people there. And one person resonates with the truth and the other person does not. And so when I ask you, do you resonate with what you're doing? I'm also getting at the point of like, is what you're doing true to you? Are you resonating with the truth in your entrepreneurial journey, or are you resonating with something that is false? And truth can be really, um, out there. Like it could be, oh, this is true to me. I'm being authentic. Or it can be, this sales tactic will drive more sales. This marketing copy will drive more marketing. Like, are you sticking to what's true and tried in sales and marketing and customer service and leading a team? Or are you trying to go out and do your own thing? So, are you resonating with what you're doing on an authenticity level, but are you also upholding the truth in your business? And part of this, when I said that we have results in our life, we have things in our life that prove to us that something is true, and that's how we get it on a heart level knowledge. The question is, do you have data that says other people resonate with what you're doing too? So if you're selling a specific way, is there proof that people resonate with that? If you're marketing a specific way, is there proof? If you're taking a certain product to market, is there proof of product market fit? Or are you just going out of your way to do what you think is right, projecting your own beliefs onto people? So when I'm going like, do you resonate with what you're doing? What I'm really asking is, are you resonating with the truth of business, or are you resonating with some false belief and you can't see clearly because you haven't found knowledge yet, because you don't understand yet? So then it's a question of, are you seeking to understand? Are you seeking that business knowledge, and are you resonating with it as you uncover more and more truths in business? So that's kind of the entrepreneurial application. The other part is, with the two groups of people, where's your tribe? Are you hanging out with people who are like not resonating with the truth? Or are you hanging out with people who are resonating with the truth? Because in my head, when I read these verses, I was like, oh, they're tribes of people. These people they see the straight words and they understand. They have found knowledge, so these words are right to them. And then they're the group of people who they don't understand. It's not right to them. It looks crooked. And so, which tribe of people are you working with in the business world, in life in general? And so, where has this shown up in my life? I've identified a longing for community where life is really intertwined. And this is because the Bible talks about bearing burdens together, loving each other unconditionally, and like, laying your life down for each other. And the only way I see that happening is a life that is really intertwined in community, like financial financially, health wise, and relationship wise. Those are the big kind of three categories in our life: health, wealth, and relationships. If we intertwine all those areas, and all of the action steps that we do to further those areas in our life, we intertwine that with people in our community, we'll start to feel more intimate with people, love people, and feel like we're on a mission with people, as opposed to how community can feel a lot of days now, right? It's also shown up in my life in my vision for Left with Love, and just what life looks like. Like it looks like me living life with people, sharing life with people, and sticking to that truth and uncovering more and more truth in our life and holding each other accountable to that truth. And then how I show up for people. I do it in a very intense way and without holding back when asked. It can seem like I'm showing up in a very lackadaisical way to a lot of people, but it's really because we're talking about lackadaisical stuff. And, you know, I don't give a lot of energy to stuff like that. But when it's important and when somebody needs me, I'm there and I'll show up for them as long as they're like, sticking to truth in their life and or striving for it. Like people want to kind of stay stagnant and stay where they are. I don't typically show up for that because I don't support that. But, you know, maybe that's a character flaw I have. I don't know. Where do I want this to show up in my life? I want to be the one who understands. I want to be the one who has found knowledge, because I don't want to hear truth and then be like, nah, that ain't it. That's crooked. That's a lie. Just because I don't understand, just because I don't have knowledge. So I want to hold this close to my heart and share it with people by how I live my life. Because then I'll be part of that evidence where people can line up my life with the truth and be like, well, it worked. It makes sense. How can I ignore this? And then they maybe will start to get more of that heart knowledge as they build a relationship with me. The other thing I want this to show up in my life is finding that tribe who wants to do it too, by building a gathering place for them and getting it out there. So finding a tribe who wants to live life like that. And I'm going to do that by building a gathering place for them and advertising it, getting eyeballs on it. And honestly, this podcast is that gathering place, but now it's like getting eyeballs on it and creating a back end system where it's like we're doing life together. We're intertwining the financial the health, and the relationships. It's like all three of those, we should be doing stuff weekly to further our lives in those categories together. So that's kind of what I'm envisioning. That's where I want it to show up in my life. And how can you guys apply this to your life? Analyze what you really know. So take a look, be like, these things that I hold as facts, these beliefs that I hold very strongly, are they aligned with truth or are they crooked? Did they come from wisdom or did they come from my own, like, I don't want to call it wisdom, but your own kind of thought process, your own ignorance, if you will. So take a look at the beliefs that you really live your life on and say, are these true beliefs? And then put them to the test. Seek to really understand and find knowledge. And you may know some stuff on a head level, but do you know it on a heart level? So the things that you are confident are wisdom, do you know it on a heart level? The things that you aren't confident are wisdom, where was your source? Why do you believe in that? Like start to question all that stuff. And yeah, if it makes you through the questioning, it's a solid belief. Hold it there. If it doesn't, maybe be open-minded to other beliefs or try to see where you're not seeing life properly based on your lack of knowledge or lack of understanding. That's all what we got for you guys today on the show. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you on the next one. And on that note, we're out.